Stev0.
What's the word? We back.
Man, bro, like I'm a little bit older than you, so I done seen quite a few changing of the guards occur in the NBA. But now you at that age where you starting to see a changing of the guard. No more Melo, no more D Wade, no more Rajon Rondos, and so on and so forth. CP3 on his way out. Curry got to go at some point. LeBron might play another 20 years. But that's another story. That's a whole
Right.
different topic. But in the point guard position, man, the NBA is beyond in good hands. De'Aaron Fox is one of them that's out there who's really good.
De'Aaron.
I feel like C-Dub. De'Aaron Fox is one of them that's out there doing his thing. But the two that got, and of course Luka Doncic, even though he's not like your traditional point guard, but two of these young fellas out there doing their thing, man. Tyrese Haliburton and Shai Gilgeous Alexander. We're gonna talk about these guys right after the intro.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
I guess while we had a shout out to the Cognac Gangs, C-Dub and Bobby. I hit that one with that, but it's all good. What's the word? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central with your boy, Big Bro, Big Kev. We got Stev0 Speaks in the building. And we just gonna get right into it, man. Tyrese Haliburton is taking the NBA by storm. He made it to the All-Star game last year, even with I think it was who was it, Wally Zerbiak, that was hating on him in the public media, saying that he wants to be an All-Star, but he never will be. It could have been somebody else, but they was hating on him. He played really well last season. This season, he's been on a tear, averaging 27 points, 4 rebounds, 12 assists, which leads the league, and shooting above 50% from the field. And he's also shooting at about 50% from three in the process. My man's last 10 games, 30 points, 12 assists, 83% from the free throw line, 47% from three, and 54% from the field. That guy is doing his thing for Indiana, and of course, led them to the in-season tournament final where they succumbed to the straight will and desire to win of the Lakers, because people are saying LeBron, but that boy AD went out there and did his thing in that in-season tournament final.
Bro, lost his mind. He definitely lost his mind, and it wasn't much he could do to himself because, hey, we all know who the guy on that team is, which is Tyrese Haliburton. He did as much as he could, but yeah. So the crazy you said, like I've just done a recent video on it. I've made the case that he's probably a top 3 guard at this point. Point guard that is Luka, Curry, and him. To be honest, you can make the case for who I say was the third or the fourth.
I mean, if you're saying it's Luka, Curry, and Tyrese Haliburton, I mean, you got him ahead of SGA?
To me, based on okay, the only reason I was like, you can argue SGA because SGA, I don't know, they still number 1 in the West? Because at the time of the video, they was number 1 in the West. Or they was number 2 at the West. They was number 2 behind Minnesota.
Let me see real quick what the stand is, because Minnesota's still doing anything.
And that's the only reason I gave the nod kinda to SGA, just because.
Yeah, SGA still number 2 in the West. They're 3 games behind Minnesota.
Yeah, I argue like he's either top 2 or right behind top 3. He's definitely in the top 5 for sure. But it's also depending on what the type of playing style that you want. To other people, I kind of lead on the Tyrese Haliburton side, because I feel like, yeah, you can be able to score the ball, but at the end of the day, when you're a point guard, you got to be able to be a pass first at some times. Like, there's times in the game where he could just strictly be a pass first, and then he comes along almost in a I'm not saying he's similar to it, but almost in a sense of a Chris Paul in the aspect. For the majority of it, for the prime Chris Paul, for the majority of his prime, we would always say he can score whenever he wants, but he passed first. Mm-hmm. So, and we feel like Tyrese is the same way, but SGA is just a completely different person. He's a scoring first guard, and it's crazy. Hey, if he averaging 30, he's damn near averaging 30 now, and he's averaging he's very difficult to guard.
He's averaging 30 points, 5.6 boards, 6.2 assists, 54% from the
Dang. So
field.
that means
I
you
mean,
said
he's
wait.
top 20
Hold
in
on, hold on,
field
hold
goal
on. You said
percentage,
6'2". You said 6 assists.
6.2 assists. Yeah.
It jumped, so that's even more because he was at 5'5".
And
Even.
honestly, if you look at his last 10 games, he's averaging about 32 points, 3 steals, one
Yeah,
block,
3 steals as well.
6.5 assists, 4.2 rebounds, and he's shooting 91% from the free throw line, 40% from three, and 55% from the field in his last 10 games. So he's turned it up a notch. All of those are higher than his season average. Just coming into tonight. So you looking at this guy, he's a beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute beast, and he's top 20 in field goal percentage, top 20 in assists, top 10, well, top six, because he's sixth in shooting and scoring right now.
Right.
And that's among Joker, Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys are the ones that are, big men, and he's doing it as a guard. Top six in scoring is crazy, bro.
It really is at a guard position, like you said, and in the conference that he's doing it in. He's doing it in a difficult conference, a conference with a lot of high power offenses over there. Like we just bring up the Lucas, even like to bring up De'Aaron Foxes of the world. It's a
We're not gonna disrespect De'Aaron Fox. He's averaging
yeah.
30.5. You
I
know,
feel like he's top five. He's five. I put him at five. I
in
feel
the
like he's five.
guards. So you're saying is Luca,
Steph
Shea, Steph, De'Aaron Fox, and SGA. Those are not in no
or
particular order.
Halliburton. You said SGA twice.
Oh
So
yeah, Haliburton. There we
so
go.
in my order, this is what I would say. I would say Luca, SGA, Steph, Tyrese, De'Aaron. That's what I would say.
And then you talking about Tyrese Maxson or Tyrese
No,
Haliburton?
Halliburton.
Because Tyrese Maxey up there too now.
Maxi. I think. Are we gonna put him at that point guard position now?
That's what they calling him.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
He's
I mean,
averaging
you're right.
20, he's
We
averaging
definitely got to
27
get him.
points.
So what's his stats again?
Tyrese Maxey,
Yeah,
he's averaging 27 points. So he's top 15 in scoring, number 12. He's shooting almost 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from free throw,
that
almost
sounds.
seven assists, one
That
steal,
might.
one block. Yeah, he
Yeah,
doing his thing.
that sound like a top 10 guard. He probably outside of the five, so he probably around six because John not right there.
Because right
And he's
now, when you
ahead
look
of.
at
And what's
the
Trey?
top 20, because Trey Young is right in front of Tyrese Maxey.
Okay, I was
He's
just about to ask. What's Trey?
27.2 points, and then Maxey's 27.1. And then you still got Damian Lillard, too, at
Mm-hmm.
25.6. And then, so out of the top 20 scorers in the league right now, LaMelo Ball, Jalen Brunson, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them is point guards, bro.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Half of the top scoring positions is point guards, and if you go all the way to 25, that adds another one with Kyrie Irving. That is
That's
absolutely
crazy.
nuts.
And that's crazy. And that's give credence to both of the dudes we talking about. The fact that they're both arguably in the top five of that discussion at the
Hmm.
age that they are. Both of them, what, 23 and 24 years old, 25 years old?
25.
So that's crazy. So, and
Tyrese Haliburton is only 23, and SGA is 25.
25. So they both they're not even in their prime yet. Got a couple years till they get into it. So so from the SGA standpoint, is leaning towards him as being the better out of the two, just because I feel like, well, for one, his coming out year was last year. We all seen it. We all seen it. He
Hmm.
was in the MVP conversation. He probably would have won it if his team won more games. But y'all know how it is. But going into this year, I feel like now that his confidence at an ultra high, that's what's getting him that extra bump over Tyrese, because I could see Tyrese having a similar type trajectory of an SGA. He's not going. He's going to be, maybe he might be in, like, I won't predict it, but it's possible for Tyrese Haliburton to be in the conversation of an MVP, probably as like the last one, like probably getting the least amount of votes. But
You know
I
what's
could
crazy
see.
about both of these guys? Neither one of them are on the team that drafted them, and they still super young. Back in 2018, the Charlotte
Damn,
Hornets,
you not lying.
Charlotte drafted SGA, and then they traded him to the Clippers,
Clippers,
and
yep.
then he got traded to the Thunder. Um, and then you got Tyrese Haliburton drafted by Sacramento, and he was pretty much traded a year later to Indiana because it just wasn't going to work next to De'Aaron Fox. It's crazy. Can you imagine a De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Haliburton backcourt? Man, that's nuts.
I can't. I just don't know if it works. I don't know if it works.
It definitely don't work at this level.
Yeah, because I like it. I feel like from this aspect, if this makes sense, it will work on us half on Tyrese because he can make it work just because of the type of player he is.
Yeah,
I think it will hurt De'Aaron more because he's more of a guard that needs the ball to operate,
especially in the fourth quarter. But if you look at Dallas and what they're doing with Kyrie and Luka, and you can see that there's a certain type of example of that type of backcourt working. But
that's two different type of guards, though.
I was gonna say, look at the type of sacrifice that Kyrie has had to take this season. Like he's only averaging like 24, 25 points, where we know that he's capable of doing more. And shout out to Kyrie though. He ain't been in the news.
But I gotta say, I gotta get a little bit pushback because that's a little different because really Luka is a point forward. He's a point forward. Yeah. So like we all know that it's more leaningful onto you can lean on a small forward, bring you to the promised land. That he just happens to have guard skills and he's playing the point guard position. That's the more situation versus De'Aaron and him being 6'3" and 6'5". That is a little different.
I like what the NBA has in store for us, man. Over the next 10 years or so, these young fellas are going to be in the forefront. They're going to be focal points in the East and Western Conference. Maybe we end up seeing Indiana OKC finals, even though nobody's going to watch it based on how the metrics typically go. Those two small market teams. But hey, it is what it is. So who you taking, man? Who you leaning toward? If you had to start
now,
if you had to start your team and you building around one of these players, which one you taking first?
See, that's different.
I'm saying
the way I build teams, I would like to build teams. I will probably end up picking. Tyrese, just because that's just the way I like my offense to be ran in terms of my point guard. Now, SGA could do similar things, but not to the same degree. And I think maybe. I like right now, as of now, SGA is the better defender, but I feel like he has the potential to live up to the same type of defense because they both play defense. There's no slouch. Like they both not slouches on defense. Tyrese not a slouch on defense, but like you just said, SGA then shot up to 3 steals a game and a block. I think Tyrese is just steal and a block a game, maybe under a steal a game. So
SGA is entering Dwayne Wade type category. If you're looking at modern players within the last 20 years who's able to get steals and blocks out of that guard position and still put up 30 points a game. That's why I'm leaning toward SGA over Tyrese. The assist aside, like 12 assists a game, leading the NBA in that, running the most efficient offense in the NBA. I can see why anybody would lean toward Tyrese Haliburton, but I'm leaning toward SGA for the intangibles, the defense, the block shots, the takeover ability, the smooth and cool under pressure. Like I remember last year when the Lakers, when LeBron scored all of his 30,000 or 39,000 point or whatever it was, he took over the number one scoring spot. SGA sat down, watched the celebrations, and got right back to work.
Cooked them again.
Got right back to work. Right before the celebration, he was working. Took that break. Go ahead, let the confetti fall, let the speeches happen, and then they went right back to work and beat the Lakers that night. He was unfazed by the moment, and that's what I see: an unflappable guy out there just leading his team to wins. And OKC's doing. They're better off for it. They're not going to be a play-in tournament team this season. I almost guarantee that.
Oh no, there ain't gonna be no play-in.
So if I'm starting
if they drop, they might. But you know,
if I'm starting a team though, between the two of them, it's not an easy choice. But I'm picking SGA over Tyrese Haliburton.
Understandable. But yeah, I think that's a good conversation. And hey, I feel like down the road, because in basketball we have these conversations with every person, every draft class, and 9 times out of 10, one or the other arises. But those rare forms where you have those conversation of two people, and they end up both being pretty good. And I feel like these two will end up both being pretty good.
And this is no slight to Luka or
No.
De'Aaron Fox. Matter of fact, we might have another conversation regarding those guards as well, man. But hey, y'all
Because
already
like
know
you
what it is.
just said, bro, what out of 10 of the 20, the top scoring people in the league are point guards. Yeah, we're gonna have some conversations.
Ain't that crazy, bro?
Yeah. That's
crazy.
Bro, all the doggone dudes in Indiana, they created basketball, so we're stomping. That's not how the game's supposed to be played.
They mad as hell.
Oh, bro, mad as hell. But hey,
they ain't watched basketball in years because of it, man. Y'all go ahead and follow.
That's terrible for the game.
Like, follow, share, comment. Let us know what y'all think. SGA or Tyrese. If you starting a team, who you gonna start it with? One of these two fellas. Pick one. I know it ain't an easy choice.
It
But
definitely
go ahead. And it ain't no wrong answer either. So let us know in the comments down below. We appreciate all the love and support y'all give us over here on NBA Central. All the Chicago's, the Chi-Town sports family. Check out everything we did with the Bears yesterday. We got a live call for the Bulls game tonight. Pre-game on Chicago Bulls Central with Hayes. Live call with the Shop Bulls podcast. Cognac Boys, Bobby and C-Dub. Myself and Stev0 Speaks will be there as well. Come kick it with the gang. We appreciate y'all, man. We're going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.